Hello and welcome back to art class. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making a 3D looking mug. Okay? And so what we're going to do today is you're going to need a pencil, you're going to want to have an eraser, and you're going to need a white piece of paper. So let's get started. The way this is going to work is we need to think about what a mug or cup is. Okay, so when you're looking at it from the side, a lot of times people will draw a flat top and a flat bottom. And that is okay, but it makes the picture itself look very flat as well. And one of the reasons why is because you're not seeing more than one side. You're looking directly at it from the side. And what we want to do is most of us, when we look at mugs and stuff like that, we're actually seeing the side and probably a little bit of the top part. And most of us know that most mugs have a circular opening, and they often have a circular bottom. One of the things about that, though, is if I drew a circle like his, and then I drew a side like this, it looks odd. I mean, we know it's close, but it looks weird because it's just not we know it's not right. Well, that's because you're trying to look at it straight down inside here, and if you were only looking straight down, then you wouldn't see the sides. So what you got to do is picture the mug at an angle, and this is where it can get a little tricky for some people, is that you need to go with the difference between what you know and what your eyes are actually seeing. So with a mug, when you're looking at it, when you can see the top and you can see the side, your brain knows this is a circle, but what your eyes are actually seeing, because one part is further away and one part is closer, is actually an oval. Okay? And that's where the difference can be to make this look a little bit more realistic. Okay? So let me give you an example here. Let me flip my paper over and we'll get started here. So when we're doing this, we're going to want not a circle, but actually an oval. And we want this mug to actually be about maybe 3 finger spaces from this side. It can be a little bit closer to this side. We don't want it perfectly centered because we still have to put a handle on it, so we need a little bit of room for that. I also don't want the mug to be right here at the top. I want a little bit of room, maybe about a hand space from the top. So I'll put even a little mark. So about a hand space from the top and about, let's say, 2.5 to 3 fingers from the side. That gives you kind of a rough idea of where the drawing will take place. There will be more stuff that we're putting here, like the handle and some things up here. All right, next, we're gonna want an oval. So it takes a little bit to get the oval kind of shape that you want. I don't like my ovals to have a sharp corner, but I don't want them to be really round like a circle either. And I want it to be like that. Then what I need you to do is you can do this freehand, or if you really are needing the help, you can actually use a ruler. Since I just grabbed one to show you, you can optionally take the ruler and just draw a straight line down. Just make sure you have an idea of how long that is. So like this one, let's see, we're gonna make it 5 inches. So it kind of makes it easy for me to go over here and make it about 5 inches. That way they're about the same length. Make sense? Okay, now the next problem that people have is they forget that the bottom of a cup is round as well. So we need to make sure that we are seeing the roundness of this mug. So what people often do is they'll just draw a straight line. Well, then again, you notice that that looks a little odd. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a curved one. It matches the outside of the mug here. So it's curved there. So it should be curved here as well. That way the outside matches like that. Next, handles are pretty easy. You could make your own. A lot of mugs have that simple C-shaped handle. I kind of go with a little bit like an S shape. So I will go curve it like that. That's got to go on the mug, and then the mug handle has a thickness. erase the lines that should disappear. Like that. Okay, next, what I want to do is go ahead and put in the liquid level. And because we're going to be seeing the far side of the liquid, it's going to be following the shape of the mug on the other side. So it's going to be curved this way. So this is your liquid level. Now, since this is a coffee mug, it could be coffee, but in the case for most of us in 5th grade, what we'd be doing is probably having hot cocoa. So that's what mine's going to be, is hot cocoa. And to show that, right now it looks just like any mug, but I'm going to put in some marshmallows. Marshmallows are basically the same thing as a mug, only turned on its side. So let me show you what I mean. I'll draw you a bigger version here. So let's say we have our liquid. This is our liquid, right? Okay. So I'm going to draw this giant mug. So half of the marshmallow is below the water, so we can't see it. The other half is above. So a marshmallow has a rounded front. Then it has sides. Now that looks a lot like a mug if you turn your paper like this. It's a half a mug. Okay. So again, this is just going to be a half circle, 2 lines, and then a part of the circle there. So I'm going to put about 3 or 4 marshmallows. So there's my half circle, 2 matching lines, and then a rounded part to make it. I could do another one going this way, like that. Okay. Remember, these lines are pretty straight. I'm not going to go much more than that. Some people may want to do still kind of a holiday feel, so they may want to put a candy cane. Maybe they stir their hot chocolate with a candy cane. So you could draw in a candy cane. Like this. And because a candy cane is actually a cylinder that gets bent in the shape of a cane, we got to make sure it's round on the bottom when it goes into the water. Add your stripes like that. Now this is, you could just turn this into a straw. You could actually, if you wanted a straw, I'll draw one over here. You do not have to do a straw, but I'll give you an example. They're kind of the same thing as a candy cane, so you'd have the rounded bottom, but the top is like the rounded part of a mug. You're going to see an oval for the top. And now you could have your straw there. If you wanted your straw to bend this way, you could bend it that way as well. You've got to choose how you want that to go. One other thing that you really want to have in this picture is, since this is going to be a hot drink, is you want to show that it's hot. Right now, this could be ice cubes, okay? Because they do make round ice cubes. So in order to make this look hot, I need to add some very simple, kind of like action lines, like that. So that it looks like steam. You could do it simple lines like that, or you could make it, look fancier, like this kind of steam. There's several different ways to go about doing that. Kind of just depends on what you think will look good. Okay. Next, then, what I want you to do is add in something that fits on the front of the mug. What I'd also like you to do is, we're going to, like a picture, okay? So the sides would be straight up and down. The top is not going to be straight, because remember, it's curving around the outside of the mug. So we're going to curve it like that, and curve it like that. So the bottom gets curved, the top gets curved, but the sides are going to be nice and straight. I'm going to put a table going behind this, so it looks like it's sitting on something. And then you can add in things for your background. Okay. Today, what I need us to focus on is getting the image drawn. And here you might want to maybe make it could be a winter scene, So I just need you to get this drawn out. If you want to add something to the background, maybe you got a little bit of room back here, you can add in a window, a door, maybe you have a bit of a picture hanging here. It depends on how much space you have in the back. If you have a lot of empty space, you do need to put something there. Maybe you sit on the counter and maybe you want the outlet to be right here in the corner because that's where you sit when you have your hot cocoa. Different things like that. If you want to put a cookie by the side, you can add in some little things like that depending on what you got. Just try to make sure your sides, whatever you're drawing, makes sense for the size. So a cookie should not be a little tiny thing like this. It's probably, for me, if I was doing a cookie, would probably end up going off the page, and maybe these are going to be my chocolate chips. Okay, maybe there's a little bit of a book. Off to the side here. Little things like that would help, make sure that it looks interesting. Okay? So things can go off the page to help make it look interesting if you wanted to do things like that. So when you're done, this is going to be a 2-week project. The first part is the drawing. Okay, so I need you to snap a photo of this when you're done drawing, upload it to Google Classroom, and I will see you next week.